Okay, good morning everyone. Who didn't watch yesterday's episode? Yesterday we ran into quite some issues with our new review system. I've been playing around with Cursor a little bit this morning and it seems resolved. Like I didn't check if it's yet connected to the database and stuff, but whoever's interested, I had a long chat and basically it was just rendering it in a wrong way. So what I asked it to do eventually is because our edit form was working properly, this one, like it would fetch all the information correctly. And I was like, why don't we just, because the issue that we had, for again, who didn't watch yesterday, is whenever we would press on personal review or details, it would just say stay not found. So there was something wrong with either fetching the data from the database or getting the right information. So now it changed the whole thing and it just adapted it to how we manage the edit page. I'm not a big fan of the layout, so I think that's the first thing we're going to change. So for the details, I'm not going to change this yet, but I think it's nice to have. But then I would just make it look like the front end page that we have. And then now what we can do is add a personal review. So I don't like the look of this at all. Like I don't like the slider. I would rather just select the amount of stars. So I want to change the UI of this. And then this needs to become a rich text editor. Pro tips as well. Then, okay, this is working. Well, maybe let's just, okay. Before we get into the episode, if you're watching the content and you like it, please subscribe down below. And yeah, I think this episode, first thing, we're just gonna fix the UI. So it's kind of what we like. I also don't like the UX. Like for me, it's very strange to navigate like this. What I would want is here, personal review, add a review, select the listing, and then just leave it. And then we have it all here. And maybe in the stays table, we just have personal review and navigate from there. Okay, so let's get into the episode and hopefully today we don't run into too many issues. So let's go. So what I first would like to do is maybe do some inspiration for a review form. Maybe it's fun to do it with emojis. Let's see whatever we have. Review form UI. Like this is more for like user generated. Let's just ask Cursor maybe to come up with something. I'm gonna open a new chat and then in the add review, we just generated the review forms for the dining and stays. I don't like the UI at all. One, I want to have rich text editors for the, what's the name again? I'm gonna do it multi-screen for a second. For the our experience and the pro tips, you can use the add rich text editor. We had a rich text editor, right? Editor, tip editor, okay. 2, I don't like the sliders. Either make it stars or make it something more fun as the screenshot. It should be very easy to fill in so that me or my partner after a stay can quickly fill it in and store it. Can you please fix the UI of the stay review and dining for the overall rating, base it as a average of the detailed ratings. Yeah, that should be it. And then what we later need to do is, so we have the website. Currently we have this, so pro tips and our experience. So this we need to remove, because currently whoever is new here or whoever didn't follow every episode, which I obviously highly recommend. Now really, if you like the content, please do. If you don't like it, it's up to you. So currently I'll show you guys. Let me enlarge this. So we have the listings. And then in the listings table, we currently have our experience and pro tips. But what we're currently doing is we are replacing this with the personal reviews, experience, and pro tips. So we're gonna use this specific database table for the reviews. So after this, what we need to do, and maybe I'm gonna write this down. So review system. Isn't it able to create like a scene? I forgot how to do it. Whatever, I'll just do it this way. I think this can be smaller. Okay, and then we had another text field. So remove, I want this left aligned. Remove the experience and pro tips from listings table. And then also replace in front end with the new fields in the review table. Just so we know that that still has to be done. Then let's open cursor. Okay, so some current implementation. Okay, so it actually used the emojis. I'm curious how this will look like. So we go to localhost-admin. We go to listing, stay, details. Kind of like it. I think we just need to it seems a little bit too busy. Or might we just keep it this way? Maybe let's just keep it this way if we want to change it later. Let's see if this is actually now calculating the average. I think it is, yeah. This is kind of cute. Maybe we can do it with more travel related emojis, but I think it's kind of cute. Okay, let's see if we can upload a image that's working. Then I'm just gonna open Claude and write a fake experience for a hotel in Ubud and also pro tips. Also, what I kind of want to do is, I think I mentioned this many times, just have something where we say like, okay, or maybe we can add nodes. So I'm not sure if we have. for the check-in, like how's the check-in? Like, I think we can just make it way more detailed later. Just I want to get some content up. So, okay, so our experience. Okay, and then the pro tips. That's fine. Save review. Failed to save review. I think it's this. Okay, so we go back to cursor. We are gonna use Super Whisper again, so. Okay, so I like the layout way better. Now the issue, I fill in all the details, I give the rating, I have the experience, the pro tips. Now when I press save, it says an error that it cannot store the review. So can you please check if it's connected to the right table and if this table is connected to the right listing ID? Or at least analyze first, give me a suggestion, and from there we can start fixing why it's not storing the right data. And again, for who is new here, I usually use Super Whisper. Let me pull this up for you guys. Not sponsored, no nothing, it's just great. So basically what it does, you can just record with your microphone, it will just sync it to text. So I don't have to type everything anymore, which is great. What I quickly want to check as well, sorry for the split screen, like someone commented that they hate split screen. Just for me, it's way more efficient. I have another monitor here, but then I'm constantly looking the other side, which might not be that nice for you guys. So, okay, so it should be storing in personal reviews. I'm gonna let this run. Whenever it's done, we review it together. Okay, so I think it worked. Let's double check. Yeah, so it did save it. The issue we had... Wait, I think this is all back to... Maybe it's not working. Okay, the updating is not working. The issue is that... Wait, I show you on cursor. The database was set to smallint for overall rating. So it would automatically, it couldn't store decimals. So we had like average rating of 3.5, not possible. So what I want to do is change the smallint to numeric. Let me see how that works. Shouldn't be too difficult, I think. So I think that should be personal review, overall rating, edit. Wait, what did it say? Change it to numeric. Am I blind? And then I think the same should be for this one. Rating, edit, numeric. I changed it to numeric now. If we can then update, or that maybe we still have some data mismatch. Okay, that's a new issue. When we want to update, we get this error. So this is also something new for me. Usually I directly access the database, but for some reason what it did here, and maybe this is a really good approach, I don't know. So we created functions. So what it's doing, the code will trigger this function to add a review or delete a review or whatever. So in this function, there's SQL that stores the right information. So maybe this is common approach. Okay, so now we're replacing the function. So what you do, it says it here as well. So go to Supabase, update it or delete it. But what you can do is, because this SQL says create or replace, because we already have it, it will just replace it. So now this code is replacing this. So let's see if this works now. Yeah, that works. So the only thing I think is that it's not storing the rating details. Okay, so that's working. But now for all the emojis that we select, so it's like if I would put everything 5-star rating, whenever I save it and I go back to the page, everything is 3-star. So I'm not sure if it's being stored properly or if the database is set up properly. Can you please analyze and tell me what should be changed? Oh, that's nice. Okay, so in the current setup, when I select everything as a 5-star, whenever I save it, it's saving successful. But then when I go back to the review, everything is back to 3-star. So I don't think it's storing it properly. Can you please tell me why this is not being implemented correctly and how we should fix it? I think for today's episode, we're just gonna try to fix this. And then in tomorrow's episode, we're gonna make sure that we connect it to the front-end page and see if we need to add some more fields to it and then just finalize it. So we need to replace this section with the pro tips we add there and then the experience. And then I think we should have 2 photo galleries, one for the review, one just if, let's say we would work together with a property and they're like, hey, can you please showcase those pictures? We can showcase this. So let's say we have images of the properties and then we have images of ourselves. And I think that's nice added value, because sometimes the images of a property are super nice and they look super big rooms. But then in reality, it's not. So I think it's good to have both those insights. As we're saying now, let's check how to get personal review by listing function implemented to ensure. Okay, so we need to replace this again. So we go back to Supabase. SQL editor. Your system creates review and personal reviews. And okay, what was going wrong? The main review was being saved successfully. The main aspects were either not being saved at all or not being properly associated with the review or not being retrieved. I'm actually curious if it's actually in the database. So how we check this, we go to tables. And then it should be, see, it's not even here. Okay, let's just accept it and then we just store it again. Okay, I need to clean this up a little bit because I think on mobile it's not bad here. Like we just have the average review, then we can type our stuff. Then we can just select all this, save review. Now it's back to 3. And if we check in the database, In the database, the table is still D. Can you please check why and how to solve it? Also check the MCP. Are you guys using Supabase or do you guys use any other tool? See if I can find something in a terminal log. No, I don't think so. I'm just gonna click through this, guys. Maybe it's good for you guys to see this as well. Like, usually I would just do it and then summarize it. But maybe it's good to just... Right. There's no aspect ratings, and this is the function code. So we have functions. This is for adding. Maybe it's the... Oh wait, we have to update personal review. Maybe, what's the difference between definer and invoker? I do see two update functions. One invoker and one, what's the name again? Definer. Which should I remove? I just gave it a functional. I'm gonna now just quickly do this and then get back to you. Okay, according to this, it should be fixed now. I have hard feeling believing that, but see, it still shows a 4 here. It's still not stored. It's still not being stored properly, so I don't think I can see it in the database. No, it's still there's 0 rows in the database, and the score is always average 3. So we need to look into why it's not showing. Why is it not storing? So if you can please help me review this, that will be great. Maybe also add some console logging on what's actually being stored on saving the review, like when editing, but also when creating. Okay, so apparently there were two constraints. One is that there was no unique constraint. So it created it. And then the second one, because we just changed from smallint to numeric, it was still trying to store smallint, and that wasn't possible. So according to Cursor, it should be resolved right now. So let's see if we move this all to 5. See if it's in the database now. It is in the database. Wait, food quality. Where's the... I think that's just the test one they created. Okay, it seems that the test one you created is working. Just in the stay form, like in the UI, you made many options like core experience, comfort and entities, location and environment. Whenever I try to save this, it's not storing. So something is wrong there still. Can you please have a look? So I'm talking specifically about the stay review form. Maybe we actually need to have a table with all those items. I don't know. Maybe I cannot click it anymore. Let's remove this row. Okay, so what I want to check now. Okay, those ones now show properly, but then when I select them in the form itself, it doesn't store. Now also I have the issue that when I now want to click on it, it doesn't select, like nothing happens. So please analyze the form, but the changes you just did, it's reflecting properly in the form, so that's good. So whatever you just did works. So in the form I can now see the changes, so I can see the 5, I can see the 4.5, etc. The only thing right now is that I cannot select any other items. So I cannot select bathroom quality, facilities, etc. So if you can please analyze why I cannot select this. And then after that, I want to test that if I make those changes, that if it actually creates it in the database as well. So we're making progress. but maybe it's good. Like, I think I want to add more things as well. And maybe you guys have an opinion on this. Do you think it's good to just have a 4.5 as well? Or should we just make it easy and say like, okay, it's either 1 or 5, 1 to 5. So it's easier for us to review it. And then also comparing values in the form, the button selection, let's fix the comparison. Because I think now this is calculated based on those three, right? 4, 5, 5. Yeah. Proper comparison helper added and is rating active. Function matter. For the ratings that we currently have in the database, I can change them. I can change them from 1 to 5. Just for all the other ones, I cannot change anything. Like if I click something, it doesn't change anything. Okay, I thought I was recording, but I wasn't. I made some changes, but what I realized, it created another duplicate database function. So it had another add personal review, and that didn't work. The only thing I'm wondering is we don't have a update personal review aspect rating. So I want to ask, we don't have a function to update personal review aspect ratings. Can we just keep this as add, or will then always keep adding instead of updating? Because we have a function update personal review images, but not for the aspect rating. Can you please let me know if this is the correct way of having it, or should we add an update function? Okay, so it's saying that this is the normal way because it has on conflict. So if it already exists, it doesn't create it. So yeah, I think that's it for today. I think tomorrow's episode, we're going to add it to the front end, and the dining, I think this would have the same issue actually. Yeah, okay, we just need to do the same thing. I will just do this tonight quickly. Just start to do exactly the same for the dining as for the stays. And then, yeah, if you guys have any feedback on what you would think is good for the form, let me know. I think it's not that bad, so we can work with it from the beginning and then just give it updates on the go. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you have any feedback for the project or for me, please let me know. If you like my content, or if you just would like to support me, just press the subscribe button. It's free, it helps me out. I get some more views, I get better visibility in the YouTube algorithm. And yeah, just let me know if you have any questions, and then I see you guys in tomorrow's episode, where we're gonna put the new stuff in the front end. And then I actually started making an SOP for my assistant to start adding data to this. So I met yesterday, I made a prompt for him so he can start adding stuff, and then this later we just make dynamic. Best times to visit. I visited this page about Japan the other day. Here, this Japan guide. I think there's some nice elements. I think I want to add stuff like this. So tables with temperatures in different months. And they have some other nice things that I might implement. Like this, good for affiliate. Before you go, we can promote some debit cards or VPNs or whatever. So there's some good elements that we can learn stuff from. Again, thank you so much for watching, and see you in tomorrow's episode.